How's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to be walking you through Cavern Shuffle, Peril on the Planet on the Merchants of Play platform. To jump right in, you can either start an activity by searching up Merchant of Play on the Discord channel, or simply going to their website at merchantsofplay.com and creating an account. Once you find Cavern Shuffle, you can just click the button and we can jump right into the game. Alright, so now that we've generated a board, I wanted to kind of take this opportunity to kind of walk you through some of the hotkeys that I found really useful. Of course, you can always click a card and right click it to get the different options to show up, but I find the game runs really smoothly once you get the 3 to 4 hotkeys down. So first and foremost, the spacebar. As you see here, it will bring up the card that you click and make it really big. So you can spin it, you can twirl it. Now you can see that it has two sides. Next, we are going to be doing a lot of flipping. So using the hotkey F will let us flip the card and flip up new piles. Next, the hotkey for the explore pile. So the explore pile is pretty crucial to the game. Obviously, you can right click and send 3, but I find it's very satisfying pressing Shift and X and cascading all the different cards over. So once we reach the end, well, this looks like a pretty good deck. Once we reach the end, it's important to select all, drag it back to that pile, and pressing Shift F or flip all. And that'll make sure that no cards are shuffled out of place, and that every time it returns back to that position, that once you flip up 3 cards again, it will be in the exact same order. For those new to the game, welcome. For existing players who are coming in to check out the new version of Cavern Shuffle, also welcome. You'll notice here that setup is exactly the same as Maze of the Minotaur as it is Solitaire, with one caveat, of course, the boss encounter being in the first pile. So 1 card in the first pile, 7 cards in the 7th pile with the top card face up in each one of the piles. You're going to have your explore pile that you flip up 3 at a time, as we saw there, and you'll be starting with a starting item. Items will have a green border on them, and in this version of the game, we will be starting with the scanner. For familiar players to the Maze of the Minotaur universe, you'll notice that there is a new icon here. It is in reference to specimen. So specimen comes in the form of completed obstacles. So as you complete an obstacle, you can set it to the side, and then you can cache it into your scanner to unlock one of the 3 different abilities. As long as you have specimen, you can activate any one of these abilities. For new players, the game revolves around sequencing. So just like in Solitaire, you're going to be sequencing between black and red suits. In Cavern Shuffle, we have lawful and chaotic alignments, and those will be denoted by the color bordered here and the general overall coloration of the card. So for instance, we have this level 4 chemist here that you can see has a light border, and then we have a level 3 engineer with a dark border. So you can move over this 3 onto this 4 and uncover the card underneath. Alternatively, this 2 cannot go on this 3 because it is a dark bordered suit onto another dark bordered suit. In this game, you have items, you have enemies, and you have obstacles. And so obstacles will look like this and will follow the coloration of the alignment that it is referring to. So this one is an obstacle. It will need either a medic or a chemist, as you can see with the icons. And then, just reassuring you, it is in reference to the lawful adventurer. What these numbers mean at the bottom here is that will be referring to the individual level of the characters in your party. So the difficulty of this will increase in difficulty based on how many obstacles you've completed before it. So in the first time you complete an obstacle, that character, whether it be a medic or a chemist, needs to be a level 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, and then when you complete it, you gain 1 specimen. So currently, we do not have any. And what does that mean? We have 4 piles up here. Each one will be specific to one of our 4 adventurers that we're going to be leveling up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So the sum of those numbers will equal the party's level. The sum of your party members will be directly correlated to enemies. So if we take the example of the crawler here, its difficulty is a 28. And so the sum of your party, so the sum of the cards up at the top, need to be 28 in order to defeat the crawler and win you the game. Lastly, the last thing about the crawler is that it has an ability that every time you transfer a card up into that pile, it's going to move one space over to the right, regardless of what's in that pile, regardless if it's empty or full. It's going to move onto that space and block whatever is in that space. It's going to continue to do so until it reaches the 7th pile, as to which it will then flip. When the crawler flips, it will continue to move every time you move a card into the party pile, but this time left. On this side, and this is kind of a new mechanic to Peril on the planet, is that enemies will now refer to an infected modifier. So we'll come across it when we see it, we'll come across it when it happens, but for now, we're going to kind of just jump right in. So what I like to do before I start moving any cards in the dungeon or in the play area here, I like to flip through the cards here and kind of get a sense of what type of game we're going to be having to deal with. So we can flip up 3 cards. You see that there's an 8, a 4, a 6, a level 5. Oh, okay, so this is a great example of an enemy. So the Frenzy is an enemy encounter with a difficulty of 5, but while it is infected, it cannot be defeated, so you can't remove it from play while it is infected or while the crawler is on their face down side. So right now it's just a difficulty 5. It might be worth getting rid of if we have the opportunity. 9. This 9 could probably go on this 10, but because we haven't moved any cards underneath, the next time we come back around, this will still be here. Alright, so we've come across a few level 1 adventurers. Level 1 adventurers are have a bigger graphic so that you can find them while you're looking through the deck. We could probably move this over and start our adventure. So when we move a card up there, the crawler will move 1 space over, revealing an empty pile here. So think of 10s as kings in Solitaire, and so if there's a 10, you can move it into that space, and that will let you flip up a new card. I think before we play this chemist into the party pile, we could probably move this 3 over, flipping up this card, and showing off a 4. So I might move this 10 while we have it, and flip it up, and there's an 8. Move this 2 up, flipping. The crawler will move 1 space over, and I don't see why not. We can probably do that pretty safely. Flip, and another 8. Interesting. Alright, so let's move the chemist over now. It will move the crawler 1 space over, and it's unveiled another item. So remember, items are green bordered cards. Each one of the items found within as you play through the game will have a reminder text saying set aside, and so when you come across this, you simply just set it off to the side here. But let's see what it does. So when you want to play this, you just declare that you're activating it, and what it will do is we'll start a new pile separate from the dungeon, and you can move any adventurer from the top of the discard, so where we just pulled it off of, and place it onto it. Enemies cannot enter this space. So think about this as, you know, a shield or a shelter away from kind of all the craziness that is happening on this world. the Merchants of Play team have done a fantastic job at providing this pile over here so that when you want to use the shelter, just place it up there, pull a card off of the top of um, the discard pile, and continue. We don't really need to use it now, so we're just going to flip up 3 more. We've come across a 9. I actually think maybe it might not be a bad idea to use the shelter with this. We don't really have a space to put it onto the board right now with all the 10s. There being no empty spaces for 10s. There's a lot of 8s that could probably help us here. So I think it's pretty safe to use the shelter. So we're going to use the shelter, and we're going to pull down this 9 into that space. And so one of these 8s, whichever we choose, we can move into that space. We can also complete this obstacle, because remember, because we've completed no obstacles before it, its difficulty is 1. And so we have a chemist that is level 1. So let's just complete that and flip up a new card and hope that will give us something good, which it didn't. But that's okay. I think we could probably use this time to maybe use the scanner to see which 8 probably bodes us the best result. But maybe we get to the end of the pile here. And there's that 10 we were looking for. And there's no space for it, of course. Maybe I was a bit too premature on this 9, but I think we used what we thought we needed to move forward. So I wouldn't mind just using the scanner to scan one of these piles. And so to do that, we just flip the card face down to indicate that we've used it, and then we can search one of these 2 piles. So I'm thinking we look at the bigger pile. No, maybe the small. Let's do the bigger pile. So we're just going to press F and flip up every card we see here. This is definitely the pile that we should be picking because we have a medic. We have a 9 for that 8, or for that 10. We have a 7 for one of these 8s. And then a 5 could help us with this 4. So let's flip these back over. We have successfully scanned all of that. So we're going to move this onto the shelter, or into the shelter, and we're going to flip up a new card. We have the medic here, so we're going to move it up. The crawler's going to move over. We're going to flip it up one more time. We're going to move that 9 onto this 10. Remember, light bordered suit, dark bordered suit. We have a 7. We can move that straight into the shelter, protected from any enemies. And then we have this 5 over here that we can move and hope for something good. A 10. Not in the right colors, but we'll take it. And so remember, so we're going to reset the discard pile over here. So remember, select all of them, move it over, and then Shift F, and then X. Okay, I might, because this 8 can go here, I might just look through really fast. I did see an engineer 2, or an engineer 1 if anybody else saw that. So moving one card will help us there. We don't really, we could use that 6, but it will unlock the tangle, which I don't know if we want to do quite yet. The tangle is pretty nasty, and we'll get to it when we see it. We currently, our level is 4. This frenzy is 5. I think we can get it on the next turn around. We could probably move this. Oh no, you know, let's stick to my advice and not move any cards quite yet until we have our answer. So I think I might move this card because why not? And then we'll move this 1 over. So the next time we come across that frenzy, we can defeat it. Here we see another obstacle. It is it is aligned to a chaotic class. So it needs an engineer or a soldier. We've already completed one obstacle, so its difficulty will be 3. And so currently we have a soldier level 2, and so we can't beat it. So we're going to flip up 2 more. Oh yeah, that 3 was there. We could have used that 3, but I make mistakes. And we're going to flip up 3 more. So I think we can now start moving things pretty confidently, knowing what we know now. Because we're going to move 1 card here, and that's going to move everything 1 card back, which will give us that engineer 1 that we'll see. Oh no, that we'll see here. Oh no, we have something's gone awry. There we go. I think it was okay. So it was. Pardon me. We're gonna do some rejigging here. So it was this, then this, then this. And then we're going to flip up 3 more. And we have the tangle. And then we have 3 more. I don't remember us moving a card, but maybe we have messed up something here. Maybe we did move a card. That's okay. Something's gone awry. No. Where's that 10? Oh, this is such a good game too. So one thing that is, there's no undo button. I think we should keep moving forward. And, oh, that sucks. Where did that 10 go? Let's flip it over. 1, 2, 3. Yep, so that's right. This 10 should be the last card. That's what it should be. Yep, that is all right. Other than this 10. Alright. Technical difficulties. But now we're back in order. So we have the engineer here that will be able to move. So that will move over, and that will move the crawler, flipping the crawler, and it's now infected. So all enemies will refer to their infected modifiers, which means we're not going to get that frenzy, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. Yes, okay, because we wanted this 6 for that 5, but we don't have the 5 yet. We'll have the infected crewmate. Is this better than that? No, it's locking it away. Okay, well, let me take some seconds to walk you through some of these items. So, the infected crewmate, another item. When you find it, you set it aside, and to use it, you place this in the dungeon to continue any sequence. So think about it as the missing link in the chain. So, say we really need a lawful 7. It can be that lawful 7 to then move a 6 on top of it. The only catch with the infected crewmate is that it is cursed and kind of playing up into the sci-fi tropes. That is a crew that has been infected. So in order to remove it, you must defeat it. So it does count as an enemy. And so your party's level would need to be 15 in order to then remove this card. So we don't really want to use it unless we need it. But we can then just set it aside and wait. So next we have rank up, another item. This time it is a treasure card. This one, you level up one of the adventurers in your party and it will indicate the next level. So say we need a 2 chemist, which could be a possibility. We can place this on top here. This will move the crawler, and it will indicate that we now have 2, so that we can then move that 3. Remember, while the frenzy is infected, it cannot be defeated, so it's going to stay there and haunt us, laugh at us. Trudge, still can't do it because we don't have a chaotic adventurer. That is level 3. And then that 10. Okay, so we have options. it'll be interesting to see how we cut through this. So its difficulty is 10, and then while it's infected, it will cost 1 more for each enemy in the dungeon. So we currently have 1 enemy in the dungeon, so it would be an 11. What are we at? 6. 3 more. This 6. A lot of enemies. That 3 we were looking for. Yes. We'll move the 3 over. And then we can move this 5 safely into our shelter. Flip. Ooh, and there's the 2. Okay, so we have a lot of things we can do now. So we can safely move this 2 up, I think. And that's going to move 1 over. We can move this 4 into this 5 before I forget. I imagine people at home are yelling at the screen saying, why aren't you doing that? I might flip up this last card because it's the 10. Let's place it down into this empty pile here. The 9 can go over and hope that this is something we need. Ooh, that is something we need, or we could use. So let's use this 3, move the crawler 1 space over, and then we can see what we passed up with this 8 on the scan. The 7 that we were looking for. Very good. And a 4. Very good. A lot of options. I wonder which pile might be better. And this might be a job for the scanner. So we have a level 3 chaotic adventurer. We have a difficulty 3 obstacle. Let's do it. So we're going to pull it off to the side. We can then pull this down. And then we can, let's scan. Let's scan again. So we're going to flip this obstacle down and let's check this pile. 7, 10, extract, and capture. So how badly do we need that 7? We actually don't really need anything in this pile because the 7 is on this 6. This 10 doesn't really help us, and then we have 2 more obstacles. So let's take the other 6 as our thing we want to do. So we're going to move it over, we're going to flip this up, and we found the 2. Wow, that is huge. Let's do it. So we're going to move the chemist up, crawler over, we're going to move the 4 up, and then move it over. The 10 will empty a new space, and we have a 7. So the only thing that I'm somewhat worried about is the crawler catching up to us, but we can shorten these piles so that it doesn't bother us too much. Let's see how far we can get before the crawler, before we absolutely need to refresh this discard pile. So we could go 3 and flip, 4 and move. Remember, we don't really need this 7. We could probably just play around with the cards we have available to us and get pretty far along. I think. Oh, is there a 5? There's a 5 at the beginning and a 3. I'm trying to save these cards here because I know that when the tangle comes out, well, you know, let's just flip. I keep talking about the tangle and people are like, what is this tangle? How is it that? It can't be that bad. So currently we have 6, 10, 13. Our Throg is a difficulty of 10 because remember it is uninfected. So we can defeat it. So let's just set that off to the side to indicate that we've completed it. There's the 5. So let's move it over. Let's flip up 3 more. And the 6 is safeguarding us from the tangle. I keep wanting to do something with the 6, but I know that the 7 is just right underneath it. So let's just keep moving cards up. 6, 7, no, 3, 4, 7, and flip. We can do a 5, move, 8, 8, 1 sec. Let's flip 3 more cards here. So the crawler currently is, probably should have defeated this before we flipped it, but we are at 10, 19. The crawler actually is only an 18 because we only have 3 items in our inventory. So we can defeat this. We still can't defeat the frenzy here, but we can kind of peek behind it, and it is the 5 we were looking for. 1, 2, 3. We could probably move up this 8. I would really like to move. Okay, this might be a crazy plan, but we're going to go 8. This will be a 7. And then this will be a place for this 6. The crawler will see that the tangle will see that the crawler is infected, and it will move on to the largest sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the largest sequence, so it's going to block this sequence here. I think we needed to do that so that this 4 will show itself. So the 4 will move over, and then the 5 will move over. The 6 can go up, and then we flip, and then we have a 7. So this 6 can then move, moving the crawler 1 space over. And then when the crawler flips 1 more time, the tangle will see that and move to an empty space, unblocking that, allowing us to flip up 3 cards, defeating the frenzy because it no longer is infected, using this 5, and we're on easy street now. So currently we have 18, 26, we could go 27, flip, and then 28, and that is the game. Obviously we can flip through this even more and continue on to finish everything, but the crawler's difficulty is 28. And yeah, so that is the game. I hope you enjoy. I look forward to your thoughts on this version of the game.